Why the hell they get you started? Got me started. Why did they get me pissed off? Now I'm about to go NFL and kick this off. You really thought that I was this off? To let anyone in my domain, they need to be taught a serious lesson. Unless you strong as Zeus, there just ain't no use to go up against a madman. You can't win, G. I put you on ice like Richard Kuklinski. So stay away from shadows. When it gets dark, you make one bad move, they won't find your corpse. And the feds won't know where I drop you.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Big Major, owner and host of this channel and show. Welcome to Major Level Entertainment. If you're new, hit that like button, that subscribe button as you're coming in. This is my first football show. I want to get up here and talk about my Giants. I know a lot of you guys may not be Giant fans, but I really do appreciate y'all coming in and sitting in on the show and listening to your boy Big and Major. You know what I'm talking about? So if you're new to the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I talk about everything over here on Major Level Entertainment, from real world stuff to sports, religion, whatever you want to talk about, sex, whatever you want to talk about it, you name it. You can ask questions down in the comment sections. I do try to answer and respond to just about every single comment that's down there. This is going to be a quick show. It's not going to be too long, but because the football season is coming into fruition, and we start playing next week, I believe, our first game. I am inclined to talk about it. I'm seeing other people start to talk about it now. So I just want to give my take and opinion on the whole thing, the New York Giants. As you all know, just like I'm a diehard Laker fan, I am a diehard New York Giants fan since the last 40 years now. My dad was a Washington Redskins fan, and my mom was a New Orleans Saints fan. My dad was a Redskins fan because when he played football, he was scouted by the Redskins, so that kind of turned him on as a fan, or whatever the case may be. You would think he would have been a Raider fan because my dad was born and raised in Los Angeles, California. You know what I'm saying, the east side of LA. So you would think he would have been a Raider fan. My second oldest brother's a Raider fan, and my oldest brother was a Redskins fan. But he's kind of like Redskin Rams, or whatever the case may be. My oldest sister is a Miami Dolphins. She was a Miami Dolphins fan. Then she became a Redskins fan later, following my dad's footsteps. And then my little sister is a Green Bay Packers fan. I'm a Giants fan, obviously. The Giants even though they're called the New York Football Giants, they do play out of East Rutherford, New Jersey. As you all know, I was born in East Rutherford, New Jersey, directly there. Well, not necessarily there, you know what I'm saying? Basically Hackensack, which is like not even too far from Brooklyn. I mean, sometimes I can lay claim to Brooklyn too, because, Brooklyn Hospital was like literally across the bridge, and I'll lay claim to both. It's only a couple miles away from each other, whatever the case may be, but technically Hackensack, but basically East Rutherford. So I lay claim to the New York Giants, New York Football Giants. But they do play in my hometown of East Rutherford, New Jersey. So, but they're called the New York Giants. So you got that connection. Coming up, before I really became a diehard Giants fan, I did kind of lean more toward the Raiders because of the color scheme, or whatever the case may be. And then NWA, when they came out, they kind of made it even more popular. But by the time NWA came out, I was already a Giants fan. So just giving y'all a little backdrop history on how I became a Giants fan, when I became a Giants fan. But before that, everything was Raiders. And I still got a soft place in my heart for the Raiders. I've often said that if I had to leave the Giants, there's been times where I wanted to leave not because of the players or because of the team, but just upper management. They've done some things that can be considered racist at times. You know what I'm saying? Their reluctance to pick a black quarterback. They've had plenty of chances to do it. How they treat some of their black players. They kind of use you up and then throw them off into oblivion or whatever the case may be. And I wasn't cool with that. And I was real quick to be like, you know what? I'll drop them. It'd be easier for me to drop the Giants than it would be for me to drop the Lakers. You know what I mean? But my heart just won't let me do it. I mean, I got 40 years in, and when you've been in something so long, you know what I'm saying, no matter how they piss you off, I'm just that type of dude. I'm just not. I'm too deep in roots. You know what I mean? I'm not a flimsy nigga. Flimsy motherfuckers change with the wind. I don't change with the wind. I'm a very stubborn motherfucker. And I'm too old to change now. You understand what I'm talking about? But you know, you can't like multiple people. I'm kind of coming up off of that. You have to be beholden to one team or whatever the case may be. I know this is a different generation, and the generation after my generation, they're subject to changing. Generation X and below, we don't change. We kind of stick with what we stick with. So that's my mentality, y'all. So with that being said, in respect to the Giants this season, now the Giants have a lot of haters. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? Why hate a lowly team? We've been lowly for a minute ever since we won back in 2012. We won a Super Bowl in 2012. Nobody had nothing to say then. Nobody had nothing to say in 2008 when we beat Tom Brady for the first time. You know what I'm saying? This is the GOAT of football, you know, in many people's minds. He's the GOAT in football. And a nobody Eli Manning went in there and beat the GOAT. Not once, but he beat the GOAT twice. He beat the GOAT twice. Now, that's something to be said because nobody else can say that about Tom Brady. There's been a couple people beat him once, but you can't say you beat him twice. But nobody lowly ass Eli Manning, everybody push him down, went in there and beat God on a football field twice. He beat God twice. Yeah, I'm talking about. So there's something to be said about that. You can say what you want about him in the regular season, whatever the case may be, but just on those 2 Super Bowls alone, Hall of Fame. So that's my take. That's my point. Anybody can believe whatever they want to believe, but you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Eli Manning for doing what he did for us, keeping us relevant in the mid 2000s. So according to several different football sources or whatever the case may be. Oh, hold on. Before I go any further, let me go ahead and give a shout out to those who've come in here when I first put the show up. Let me go ahead and give a shout out to my little brother, my guy, you're a guy. You know, I'm talking about Lakers in 5 and DJ. He said, "What up? What's up, man?" You know what I'm saying? Appreciate DJ for showing up to the channel. Like I say, DJ could come over here for 5 seconds, right? And that's enough to send the whole internet over here on Major Level Entertainment. Without DJ, I get no views. DJ pops in there to see his name down in the chat. Boom! I'm the most famous nigga on the internet until he does a show. When he does a show, everybody forget about me. You know what I'm saying? But that's okay. That's little bro. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have my time in the sun. It's little bro time, man. It's just what we do. We move out the way. We let our younger siblings take that spotlight, bro. I didn't have my time. You know what I'm talking about? That's Lil Bro. And shout out to Lil Bro for always big up and big bro, even when he don't have to. Even when I'm not big enough to even call out my name. Pause, yeah. That don't sound right. But he still gives a shout out every single time the man does a show. And that show I'm talking about is Lakers in 5, ladies and gentlemen. Please go like, share, subscribe to his channel. Most of the people that's on my channel, everybody that's on my channel is already over there. But I'm talking to those who are just listening in now. Please go subscribe to Lakers in 5 right damn now, man. It's just, there's just no reason you shouldn't be subscribed over there. So shout out to Lil Bro, man. Keep doing wonderful things over there at Lakers in 5. I'm proud to be a part of the Lakers in 5 family, y'all. Almost 2 years now. Go James, my damn cousin. You know what I'm talking about? AKA Chris, AKA Cuzzo, AKA fuck around and find out. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all can call him what you want to call him, but his name to me is fuck around and find out. Mr. Fuck around and find out, because if you fuck around, you shall find out. And don't say I didn't warn you. Chris, you know what I'm talking about? Always showing up to Big Cousin channel. I don't know what I did to deserve it, but he shows up over here, so I'm certainly not going to cry and complain about it. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to Cuzzo Chris. A shout out to DJ. Said salute. Happy holidays, man. You know, I forgot today was a holiday, but today is Labor Day, y'all. I hope you guys are safe out there. Eat your barbecue, eat your chili cheese fry, whatever you eat, man. Please be safe and enjoy your family. Enjoy the festivities with your family if you guys are doing anything. Do it safe. You know what I'm talking about? He said, salute Chris and salute DJ. That's what Detroit says. There he is, H. and Davis, my goddamn nephew and one of the snipers of the channel. He said, what it do? Okay, yo, what it do, nephew, man? And listen, I can't call it, man. It's your world. I'm just living in it. You know what I'm talking about? He says, happy holidays, ladies and gentlemen. This is how he does this. You understand what I'm talking about? Happy holidays to my damn nephew, H. motherfucking and Davis, helping keep order over here on Major Level Entertainment, because without H. Davis, I really don't know how I would get through a show. I don't see H. Davis down in the comments. That's going to make my show shorter and shorter and shorter. I see H. Davis in the comments. I might add extra 15, 20 minutes on to the show. So y'all can thank H. Davis for me doing these long ass shows I've been doing. Ladies and gentlemen, H. motherfucking Davis. You know what I'm talking about? Go James, he says, salute OG Detroit. Go James says, damn, this is the schedule. Yeah, this is the schedule, cuz. Oh, I know. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. But we're going to get into it right quick. Thank you for the 2 viewers that are watching me right now. I don't know who you 2 are, but salute, man. I hope that one of y'all hit that $1 billion lottery tonight. You know what I'm talking about? And don't forget about your boy at Big Major. You know what I'm talking about? So let me go ahead and get off into it real quick. Okay. So there's been a compilation of expert analysis, right? Expert analysts, and they've given their record predictions. Okay. And in all fairness, I'm gonna go down their record predictions and I'm gonna read them off, whatever, and then I'm gonna tell you how I feel about them. You know what I'm saying? Now, part of me is gonna have a little bit of New York Giant bias because I'm a Giants fan, and then another part of me, I'm gonna have to take my helmet off, my proverbial Giants helmet off, and then give it to you the real. But I won't tolerate the disrespect that these so-called analysts are putting out there. Putting my guys down. You know what I'm talking about? Let's go ahead and start off with Adam Rank from NFL Media. He gives us a record of 4-13. He says Jackson Dart, that's our new star quarterback, a little rookie quarterback. He said he could leap over Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston to lead the Giants to the playoffs this year, proving us both wrong here. Or could one of the vets even pull it off? Sure, I'm not saying it's likely, but we have saw some weird things, some weird stuff last year. So never say never. One thing I can't say for certain, draft Malik Neighbors in fantasy. Now he says this, right? He says, oh, there's a possibility Jackson Dart could take us, to the playoffs on his young arms, or one of the vets can do it, but he gave us a record of 4-13. Fuck you, Adam Rank. I disagree with you totally about the rank, about the 4-13. I disagree with that. You know what I'm talking about? Connor Orr, I know him from Sports Illustrated. He gives us 6-11. Okay, that's a little bit better. You know what I'm talking about? Let's see what he had to say about the whole scenario. He says, I have a running bet with friends that the Giants will exceed the Vegas suggested 5.5 wins total in 2025, though I did not realize how stressful finding those wins would be. For example, when I tried to look for a solid pocket of wins, I ended up having the Giants defeat the Chiefs, figuring out Rashee Rice may not be with the team, and Abdul Carter could make work of the rookie left tackle still early in the season. However, one of these wins against the Chiefs, one of these are wins against the Chiefs. This is partially a best case scenario overview of a tough schedule. We do have a tough schedule, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna go through the schedule after I finish reading these guys' reports. In a partial show of faith that the Giants will end the season with one major positive: a post-bye victory over the Commanders after the official switch is made from Russell Wilson to Jackson Dart. Everybody seems to believe that Jackson Dart will supplant Russell Wilson, and I do believe that in 6 games, let's say we go 0-6, heaven forbid, he most matter-of-factly will replace Russell Wilson, but I don't think. Matter of fact, I'm 90% sure that we will not be losing 6 games in a row, ladies and gentlemen. That's just me personally, but we're going to get into that in a minute. And Nate Davis, he gave us the most disrespect. He's from USA Today. He says he's giving us 2-15. He said the team is coming off a 3-14 season, somehow draws the league's toughest schedule. We have the toughest schedule every year, just like the Lakers have the toughest schedule every year, based on opponents' 2024 winnings. Opponents' 24 winnings against the Giants, stacked up against the Giants win success is 57%. So much for a competitive balance. This record projection isn't indicative of the young talent on the roster, like wide receiver Malik Neighbors, left tackle Andrew Thomas, rookie offensive linebacker Abdul Carter, and others. It is very hard to find wins on this schedule or expect Russell Wilson to enjoy a renaissance at 36, especially when pressure to play quarterback in front of the future Jackson Dart as the season wears on is likely to incrementally grow. This is what Nate Davis says. Nate Davis, you gave us 2 and 15. Fuck you, respectively. That means so we had 3 and 14 season last year. So you saying we got worse? I opt to say we got better. Because now we don't have doofus on the team no more. Motherfucking Daniel Jones. So you said we got worse? With a championship winning Russell Wilson did win the championship. Well, I mean, put some respect on Russell Wilson's name. You know what I'm talking about? Our defensive line has got better, which is something that we haven't had in a minute. We haven't had great in a minute, or we haven't been consistent in a minute. Our O-line have gotten slightly better. So you mean to tell me our team has physically gotten slightly better, but you gave us a worse record than you did last year? Fuck you, Nate Davis of USA Today. There's only one Davis I know. You know what his name is? Y'all know his name. Say it with me down in the comments. Y'all know the only Davis in the family that I give a fuck about? H. Motherfucking Davis. That's the only Davis I want to hear. I don't want to hear about UCA Davis, UC Davis. I don't want to hear about Governor Gray Davis. I don't want to hear about Anthony Davis. I don't want to hear about this goddamn Nate Davis. There's only one Davis I know. Ladies and gentlemen, my goddamn nephew, your family member, H. Davis. That's the only Davis I care about. Ralph Vacciano. I know who Ralph is. He gave us a favorable 6-11. 6-11 is still horrible because you don't make the playoffs, but at least he gave us 6 wins. He's from Fox Sports. I know him. Okay. He said it's a real shame this season, the real shame of this season is that if they had a schedule that was a little easier, then maybe just 2 or 3 more softish games, they'd have a shot at really having some legitimate improvement. So in other words, he said if we had, 2 or 3 easier games or whatever the case may be, he'd easily put us up to 8 or 9 wins, or whatever the case may be. If we got to 8-8 somehow, whatever, or 8-7, we could probably squeak our way into the, 8-9, we could probably squeak our way to a wild card situation or whatever the case may be. Or if we got into 9-8 scenario, we might find our way in a wild card scenario, getting in, depending on how the other teams in the NFC compete or whatever the case may be, what their record come out to be. He said they should get much better. They should get much better quarterback play. Their offensive line should be better, which I just said we are better. They've really upgraded their defense too, which I just said that we're better with the defense. But they are trying to dig out of a 3-14 hole again. So everybody's based in because we had a 3-14 record last year on what we're gonna do this year, even though we've got clearly better. And then we got a healthy Darius Slayton back. We got Malik Neighbors, you know what I'm saying? These guys are coming to their own, you know what I'm saying? We got a decent running back. We got Scatterboo. I mean, we got we got some dangerous motherfuckers right there. You know what I'm talking about? We were 3-0 in the preseason, and I didn't get a chance to like really analyze those games. But from what I saw in our play, everybody played great. As y'all know, we got rid of my guy, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Cutlets. You know what I'm talking about? We got rid of him, whatever the case may be. So we got rid of him. And now we down to 3 quarterbacks, 3 main QBs, Jackson Dart, Jameis Winston, and Russell Wilson. So I think Jameis is probably going to be 3rd string, and he's okay with that. See, the fact that everybody's buying into their roles and nobody's mad or there's no ego trip or whatever the case may be, I already see something in my team. And I see us. I'll tell you my record in a minute once I go through all the teams, right? Okay. So that's what Ralph Vacciano said. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Ralph. You know what I'm saying? Much respect to Ralph. He said it's going to be a tough call, but this schedule won't make it any easy or pretty or fun. As y'all know, I don't give a shit about nothing easy. Like I said, I don't dodge smoke. Y'all know how I am when it comes to my Lakers. I've never dodged smoke at all. I don't care about how tough a schedule is. I don't care about you got Patrick Mahomes on your team. I don't care if Tom Brady came back and was in his prime. I don't give a fuck about a prime Aaron Rodgers. I just don't know how to be afraid of anything, y'all. So I'm always gonna bolster my team. No, even when all is bleak, I'm still gonna be like, fuck it, we gonna pull one out and we gonna win. Pause, yay, yay. See, this is why DJ called me what he calls me. Because he was like, Major, when everything seemed bleak, you was the only nigga that said, nah, nigga, we gonna win. That's not an act, ladies and gentlemen. I wake up like that. I fear nothing. Anything can happen, y'all. Gotta have faith. You know what I'm talking about? NFL Nation, from ESPN says gives us a 7-10 record. Okay, that's even more favorable. That's the most favorable record somebody's given us so far. An analyst has given us so far. Okay. And with that said, they broke it down into two categories. They said our biggest strength is the defensive front. Brian Burns and Dexter Lawrence II. Yes, man, Sexy Dex. They call him Sexy Dex. You know what I'm saying? They're going to lead the defensive pack this year. Hey, like Dexter Lawrence does every year. You know what I'm talking about? But now we got Brian Burns. You know what I'm saying? He's an up and coming guy. So let's see what he does. He said they were top 20 in pressure percentage at their respective positions last season. That's what I'm talking about. And then we got that boy, Kayvon Thibodeau. You know what I'm talking about? He said, Kayvon Thibodeau has already a double-digit sack season, 11.5 in 2023. At the number 3 draft pick, Abdul Carter to the mix. I love that kid, Abdul Carter to the mix, and the Giants pass rush just has the potential to be lethal. So, just with that being said alone, our pass rush, the potential that means you ain't just about to just be running circles around us like you did before. So that alone is going to get us into some wins. We may not score high, whatever the case may be, but you ain't either. You ain't about to be throwing or running touchdowns all over the goddamn field. I promise you that ain't going to happen. That's going to lead me to my record prediction at the end of all of this. You know what I'm talking about? He said, now the Giants have to get the lead and stop the run to maximize their talent. Okay, that was from Jordan Raanan. Jordan Raanan said that of ESPN NFL Nation. He said the biggest concern, this is still Jordan Raanan, but that was their biggest strength. This is the biggest concern. Their biggest concern, can the offense score enough? I just said that, ladies and gentlemen. See, I know my football without even having to look at what these niggas are talking about. I just been around this game for too long. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching football as long as I've probably been watching football longer than I've been watching basketball. Because when I came out, my dad knew this nigga gonna play football. I was just built like that. This motherfucker came out 2 months old. Okay, look. You know what I'm talking about? Well, I got a prediction. The nigga gonna be like 6'5", 6'6", or 6'7". He gonna be like 480 pounds of muscle. And nigga playing football or box. He doing all big nigga shit. He'll be doing no little nigga shit. He gonna do all big nigga shit. So we're gonna go ahead and throw a motherfucking Jim Brown jersey in his casket, in his crib, and we're gonna push. We're gonna have a little football, little dangly, the little things that be hanging that the babies be playing with. He had the little football dangling from the ceiling. And he said, football? First word was football. You know, so he do. So I've been watching football long enough. I've been watching basketball since I was about maybe 1, 2. So you say 76, 77. I've been watching football since I came out of my mama womb, y'all. Like, boom. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure the goddamn game was it wasn't no game on because ain't no games going on in March. I was born in March. I was born a month after the Super Bowl. The 1975 Super Bowl, I was born a month after that. I don't know. I forgot who the hell was in. I don't know who the hell was in the Super Bowl. But whoever was in I'm going to have to go back and check that out. Who was in the Super Bowl in 1975? Can anybody tell me who won the Super Bowl in 1975 that February? So somebody told me I was born a month later. Now, I want to know this. This is important to me because it tied into my history. You know what I'm talking about? Was it an important team that won? If I'm not mistaken, I don't know. Who's it? Was it damn? I think the Dolphins won in 72. I don't know. Goddamn, I forgot. You know what I'm saying? I don't know every goddamn thing. You know what I'm talking about? But I'm just saying that's what it was. So he said, Jordan Raanan said his biggest concern: can the offense score enough points? That's what I just said. The Giants have raved about the veteran quarterback Russell Wilson's leadership and him being effective at that leadership role, which he has been, and the impact that it will have on the group. But is it enough to turn the 31st ranked scoring offense, the 31st ranked last year scoring offense, into a more effective unit? I elect to say yes, it does. New York returns 10 of 11 starters on offense, and perhaps its most indispensable player at left tackle, Andrew Thomas, the big dog himself, and my guy. You know, I'm talking about my goddamn nephew. You know, I'm talking about. Oh, he was recently activated off the. Ooh, he's back. Recently activated off the PUP list and didn't play a preseason snap. That's good. We didn't want him to play preseason. We want Andrew Thomas fresh. Hey, good luck, NFL. Good luck. Jordan Rainer, thank you for that beautiful take. You know, you gave us 7 to 10. That's favorable. We're still not getting to the playoffs with that record, but it's okay. Thank you for saying that. NFL staff, the Athletic guy named Dan Dugan. He said he gave us 6 and 11. Okay, that's not too bad. That's still not making the playoffs. The Giants improved their roster, particularly on defense, with additions to the edge rusher, Abdul Carter. Everybody's raving about him. Cornerback Paulson Adebo. Everybody's raving about him. And safety Javon Holland. You know what I'm saying? So another good player. The quarterback play with Russell Wilson and eventually Jackson Dart has to be better than Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito disaster last season. Yeah, Jones, Lock, and DeVito, that was a three-headed, not even three-headed monster. That was a three-headed bust. You know what I'm talking about? They only eked out 3 goddamn wins. Unacceptable, ladies and gentlemen. Unacceptable. He said, but still, this is a team that won 3 games last year. Even with the upgrades, it's difficult to see many wins against the hardest schedule in the league. You hear that, ladies and gentlemen? That's the 3rd time somebody said we have the hardest schedule in the league. But when I get through these, I'm going to go back to that. I'm going to go to that hard schedule. Okay, I'm not going to read all through everybody's what everybody is saying. I'm going to probably read the next 2, and then I'm going to start just saying what people are saying about the records. Okay, John Breach from CBS Sports. He gave us a record of 5 and 12. He says, if everyone stays healthy, I feel like the Eagles can coast to the division title, and that's mainly because the other 3 teams in the division all have at least one glaring weakness. The Commanders gave up a third of their rushing yards in the gave up the third most rushing yards in the NFL last season, and I'm still not currently sure if they can stop the run. I ain't never been worried about the Washington Command. I still call them the Redskins, aka the Deadskins. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, Pops, and rest in peace, Pops. You know what I'm talking about? If they could stop the run. In Dallas, Jerry Jones is doing his best to run the Cowgirls into the ground. Man, you know what? That motherfucking devil. I don't know what the fuck his problem is, but I'm glad his ego is so big that it's causing him to do stupid shit over there with the Dallas Cowgirls. You know what I'm talking about? And then the Giants are the Giants. See, they hating on us. That's fine. We want the smoke. The Giants are the Giants, and this year feels like the year where we'll finally get a repeat champ. So everybody think the Eagles is going to win it again. Keep that same energy, John Breach of CBS Sports. Keep that same energy. I'm going to remember your name. Write it down, take a picture of it, and record it. Because when we come out of the NFC, and if we get to the Super Bowl, oh my goodness, I'm going to go in on you motherfuckers so tough. Ooh-wee. Y'all going to need an exorcist out there on the football field after I get down with your ass. You know what I'm talking about? But keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. Matt Johnson of Sportsnaut, he gave us 2-15. He gave us 2-15, 2 wins, 15 loss, a record. Fuck you. I'm not even reading your goddamn comment. Mo Moton of a Bleacher Report, he gave us 4-13. Screw you. But I'm going to go ahead and read what you said because it looks important. Said, the Giants have been cautious with left tackle Andrew Thomas, who's recovering from a foot surgery, while Malik Neighbors deal with a minor toe and shoulder issues. Malik Neighbors will be fine. He should be able to play. If he can't play the first week, he'd be able to play week 2 or week 3. I ain't worried about him. Regardless, New York has a brutal schedule. It opens the season with 2 road games against division rivals. Yes, it's going to be tough. I'm not saying it's not going to be tough. I'm not delusional. Said then 2 playoff teams from last year, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Los Angeles Chargers. They don't play too far from me, play less than 5 miles away from me over there at Sci-Fi Stadium. You know what I'm talking about? They will greet the Giants at home between week 6 and 8. They have a total road game They have a road game against the Denver Broncos, sandwiched in between two contests with the Eagles. Yeah, it's fucked up, ladies and gentlemen. Whoever wrote the schedule don't like me personally. You know why? Because I believe the same motherfucker that wrote this schedule wrote the schedule for the Lakers, wrote the schedule for the Yankees, wrote the schedule for these motherfuckers. Every team that I'm a fan of, I think all these motherfuckers got together and wrote the damn schedule and say, you know what? Find out what team a major fan of. And then we're gonna figure out the schedule whether we don't like him. If it's the New York Rangers, a hockey team, figure out a hard schedule and give it to Major, let them know. If it's the Yankees, figure out a schedule, throw it to Major. Lakers, figure out a schedule, throw it to Major. Giants, figure out a schedule, throw it to Major. Brazil, the soccer team, hard schedule, give it to Major. Any team that I'm a fan of any sports, rugby, hockey, soccer, bud wrestling, they fuck us up with these fucked up schedules. And but that's cool though. Because I like to be the underdog. Because when we win, I love music, the best music in this world. It's not jazz. It's not classical. It's not hip hop and R&B. You know what the greatest music is to me? Silence. Silence is the best music that you'll ever hear. Mo Moten from Bleacher Report gave us a 4-13 record. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for everybody who gave their, all the experts who gave their opinions. Now, let me go through the whole entire list and say this. At the minimum, somebody gave us 2-game win. At the maximum, somebody gave us a 7-game win. So if I'm looking at it from the median standpoint, they're basically saying that we're going to basically have, if I'm looking at it to average, we're going to get about 4 games this year. So that means we're going to lose 13. So we're going to go 4-13. And to that, I say, fuck no, that's not happening. That's not happening. Y'all continue to hate on the Giants. That's cool. But I'm not going to allow no disrespect of my team. I don't give a fuck if y'all as analysts. Here's what a real fan is talking about. Now let's go ahead and get off to the schedule. Y'all see it on the screen, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all see, and the first week we got the washed up pork skins, or AKA the Redskins, AKA the goddamn Commanders. Okay, then week 2, we got the Cowgirls. And then after that, we got the cans of shitty thieves. Cans of chili cheese. Kansas City Chiefs. And then we got the Dischargers. Okay. And then we got the New Orleans Saints now. Now, I'm not going to disrespect the Saints. That's my mama goddamn team. And they play out there in New Orleans where my damn cousin is from. So I'm not disrespecting the Saints, yo. And then we got the full of crappier Eagles games in week 6. And then week 7, we got the Denver Broncos. And then in week 8, we got full of crappy again. And now the 49ers. That's another team I'm not going to diss. The reason why I'm not going to diss the 49ers is because even though I wasn't a 49er fan, y'all know who one of my favorite players of all time is. Aside from Lawrence Taylor, my favorite quarterback of all time is Joe Montana. My favorite wide receiver of all time is Jerry Rice. I'm sorry, Giants fan and all. But that was my quarterback, man. I had great respect. And then Steve Young, what he did when he came over. So I'm not going to disrespect, just for history's sake, I'm not going to disrespect the 49ers. But we played them in week 9. Okay, once again, the Chicago Bears, that's my grandfather's team. Grandpa's from the south side of Chicago. Rest in peace. And Grandpa, you know what I'm talking about? Grandpa is a Bears fan, so I'm not going to disrespect the Bears. The Ben Gay Snackers, or the Green Bean Snackers, or the Ben Gay Packers, or the Green Bean Slackers. That's my little sister team. We played them week 11. Okay. Week 12, we played the Detroit Lions. Okay, the Detroit Kittens, we played them. And then we played the Patriots, the New Tingling Gatriots. They be tingling over there. The Gatriots ain't nothing without they boy, a Tom Brady. You know what I'm talking about? Ain't been nothing since he's been gone. So we played them in week 14. Okay, then after that, we got the bye week. Then we come back, and ladies and gentlemen, look at what we got. We got the washed up pork skins, or the Washington Commanders. We got them. We got the Denver Bi-Queers. The Minnesota Bi-Queers. The Vikings, I'm saying. Minnesota Vi-Queens. We got them. We got the I almost said the Los Angeles Raiders. I got a soft spot in my heart for the Raiders. I told y'all that's like my second team. Kind of like how the Nets are like my second like sleeper team just because the Raiders are like my second home away from home team. So I'm not gonna disrespect the Raiders. So we got the Raiders in week 17, and then we got the Cowgirls to finish out week 18, ladies and gentlemen. Now, with that being said, this is the part of the list where we have the most fun at. So I'm gonna go down the entire list, and I'm gonna tell you what's a W and what's a loss. And it's just me being me personal. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, week 1 we beat the Commanders. We beat them. Now, I'm not going to explain why we beat them. We just always had their number. We beat the fuck out of Commanders in week 1. We now 1-0. Ladies and gentlemen, we play the Cowgirls at their house. Not just because Michael Parsons is gone, because they still got CD Lamb over there and those guys, whatever case may be. I got respect for that game. But I do believe we squeak out game number 2, ladies and gentlemen, week 2. So I do believe that we're 2-0 by the end of week 2. Week 3, ladies and gentlemen, that's the Kansas City Chiefs. We lose to the Chiefs to give us our first loss of the season. That puts us at 2-1. Ladies and gentlemen, week 4, we beat the shit out of the Chargers. Now we're 3-1. Ladies and gentlemen, I do believe we beat the Saints. They ain't really got nobody over there that we're worried about. So now we're 4-1. Ladies and gentlemen, we lose our first game to the Eagles. So now we're 4-2. We beat the Broncos. We're 5-2. The second game we play the Eagles, second and final game of the season, we play the Eagles. We should beat them. I believe we're 6-2. Now, one of those games, first we played in week 6, and then we played them again week 8. We should split with the Eagles. Because we almost beat the Eagles last year, bad too. We almost beat them while we were a bad team, and they was playing us pretty hard too, and we almost beat them. We just couldn't stop their run. That's what we couldn't stop. We couldn't stop their run. So we get a split on the Eagles. By week 8, we should be 6-2, ladies and gentlemen, having only lost to the Chiefs and Eagles thus far. Week 9, we beat the 49ers. That gives us a record of 7-2, ladies and gentlemen. Week 10, I think we beat the Bears. That's going to give us a record of 8-2, ladies and gentlemen. Week 11, we should beat the Packers. That's going to give us where we at? Week 11. That's going to give us a record of 9-2. Week 13, we should beat the Lions. That should give us a record of 10-2. We should beat the Patriots. That should give us 11-2. Ladies and gentlemen, we already beat the Commanders. I think that they'll beat us just for to even the playing field. So that's going to give us a record of 10-3. Hold on. Where we at? I don't want to mess up. Okay, that's where we are. 14 games in. No, excuse me. That's no. So that's 10. No, that's 11-3. Excuse me. So by week 15. We should be 11-3. The Commanders should hand us that W. Hand us the L. So we're 11-3. Okay, then we play the Vikings. The Vikings always play us hard. There's a possibility they could beat us. We lose that game. So now we're 11-4. And then we play the Raiders. We should beat the Raiders. That should give us a record of 12-4, ladies and gentlemen. And then we play the Cowgirls. Now, I already said we beat the Cowgirls in week 2. I do believe that they'll be this last game of the season to give us a final record, ladies and gentlemen. Realistically, to me, a record of 12-5, firmly putting us in the playoffs. So I do believe that we can end the season 12-5. That's my personal record, 12-5. Now, we get to the playoffs. We get inside the playoffs. What chances do I give us to get to the Super Bowl? I'm going to go by percentage. I'm going to give us 50. I'm going to give us a 52% chance for us to get to the Super Bowl, slightly above. Yes, we have a great regular season, whatever the case may be, the 12-5, but I'll give us a slightly above 50% chance to get to the Super Bowl. Now, if we get to the Super Bowl, let's say we surpass the 52%, right? Getting there. If we get to the Super Bowl, what percentage chance do I have that to give us that we're going to win the Super Bowl? Ladies and gentlemen, realistically, this is part me being a fan and part taking my hat off at the same time. I have to show balance. I can't be a delusional fan. I can't let the emotions of my fandom overtake me. Realistically, we get to the Super Bowl depending on who we play. On the AFC side of things, I would have a better prediction if I could know who would come out of the AFC on the AFC side of things. But if it ends up being us and the Chiefs, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to slightly give the edge to the Chiefs. I'm going to give the Chiefs a 55% chance to win if they play us in a Super Bowl, and I'm going to give us a 45% chance. That's as realistic as you're going to hear me get. Trust me, it's hard for me to say another team could beat us, but those are the motherfuckers that I fear the most. If we can, but I will say this. I'll say this. Now, if we get past the Eagles, let's say we make it to the NFC. Let's say we make it to the NFC championship game, whatever the case may be, and it's us versus the Eagles somehow, some way. Let's say that if we beat the Eagles, and the Eagles have a good record this year, let's say if we beat the Eagles, we will almost certainly have a better chance of beating the Kansas City Chiefs. But if we don't play anybody if we play anybody other than the Eagles, somebody find a way to get around the Eagles, and then we end up going to the Super Bowl, and we face KFC in the Super Bowl, and we face Kentucky Fried Chicken in the Super Bowl, I give us a better chance of winning. But as it stands right now, if it's Giants Chiefs Super Bowl, Chiefs 55%, Giants 45%. That's my prediction, ladies and gentlemen. So regular season record, 12-5. That's what I said. I'm not taking it back. If you don't believe me, fuck you. This is my opinion. Chance to win a Super Bowl, 45%, depending on who we go against. Period. I don't want anything easy. This is a brutal schedule. I don't want it to be anything less than brutal. As a matter of fact, it ain't brutal enough. As far as I'm concerned, this ain't. I want to play the Chiefs 17 times. I want it brutal. I don't want nothing easy in this world. I don't even like how easy it is to open up a pack of Oreos and eat them motherfuckers. Now you got to split down the middle. You can just pull the motherfucker right open and then close it back. For easy access. I don't want that. Remember back in the day you had to crack the motherfucking whole container open. I don't want shit easy, ladies and gentlemen. I'm working on a lock for bras now. I don't want to be able to pull a bra off with my teeth. I want to work for that motherfucker. I want to be in there sweating. God damn, baby, how many locks you got on this motherfucker? What is this, a master locker? I don't want nothing easy. Anything that is easy is not worth having. I don't want nothing easy, ladies and gentlemen. I hate when people give me shit. I want to earn it. Don't give me no money. I want to earn the motherfucking shit. You know why I'm like that, y'all? Because when you earn something, you leave very, very little room, if any room at all, for somebody to say, I gave you this. I just gave you this. No. Motherfucker, make me earn it. Because guess what? At the end of it all, you can't say I just got anything from you. You say I earned every fucking thing I got. Every piece of money I got. Every red cent I got. To every dollar that I got in both my bank accounts. I earned every last motherfucking drop of that shit. I had to throw blood out there on the street. I had to throw skin out there on the street. I had to lay niggas down out there on the street to get what I got today. And guess what? When I go to sleep at night, that's why I don't have a care in the world. I lay my head down on the motherfucking pillow and enjoy all my goddamn riches and success. Because I earned the fucking shit. Now, the only thing I do want give it to me is if I hit the goddamn lottery for $1 billion, then you gave it to me. But other than that, I don't want shit easy, y'all. So I'm about to go back up here and I'm gonna read the comments off, and then I gotta peel up out of here, y'all. And y'all been talking a lot. Let me see. Okay, where we at? Where do we leave off at? Let's go. James said, damn, this is the schedule. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, because that's the schedule. He said, damn, what they did to Daniel Jones, and they took and that rookie starting over Russ and Winston. Yeah, man, that's what they saying might happen. But according to Brian Dable, the coach, he said that Russ will more likely start. And then, Jameis Winston and Jackson Dart are all cool with that. But I do believe that depending on what we do in the first 6 games, it was just like basically the first half of the season, if Russell Wilson don't pull his team together, he's going to sit down, bro. He's going to sit down in favor of the youngster. And I'm going to be all for it. I like Russell Wilson. I'm going to say Russell Westbrook. But he might have to sit down if he don't do what's right. Cuzzo said, them guys paid Daniel Jones' ass all that money just to let him go. Nasty fucking work. And they did that shit while letting go of running back Barkley. Worst move since the Eli retired. Yes, I fucking agree, bro. And that's why I was mad. I was ready to drop the Giants. Like, you're going to pay this doofus all this money, kept him over. You planned on getting rid of him anyway because he sucked. And we didn't want to pay Barkley what the fuck he was worth. He was only asking for a couple million more. Nasty work, and we ended up paying for it because he went over there and got a goddamn championship with the motherfucking full of crappier she-girls. So, you know what? That's what the fuck we get. Autism Cottage Boy. You know what I'm talking about? He said, what up, Major? What up, young man? He said, Autism Boy said, hey, chat room. He said, hey, Cottage. Go James says that. Says, hey, go James, what up, what up, what up? And Steve Goshoot, my goddamn twin, is in the house, y'all, ladies and gentlemen. If Steve Goshoot says, salute, family. Salute, fam. Cuzzo says, Steve Goshoot. Autism Cottage Boy says, are the 2025 Giants making the Super Bowl, Major? I believe they can make the Super Bowl this year. I do believe it. In my opinion, that's what I believe. And Steve Goshoot says, go Pittsburgh Steelers. Hey, Pittsburgh Steelers, this is how we do it. Steve Goshoot says, 6/16/1975. That's how we does this. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's how we does it. You know what I'm talking about? Autism Boy says, check out the video. Check this video out, Steve Goshoot. So, okay, Steve Goshoot, check the video out. Hey, Coach James says, hey, I ain't gonna lie, cuzzo, that damn schedule is nasty fucking work. Can't do nothing about the division team, but the conference teams are really disgusting work. It is, man. They really fucked us over, man. It really screwed the pooch on this one. Shout out to my damn nephew, Joe, for showing up to the channel. Said, salute, big uncle. Hey, man, salute, nephew. He said, week 7 will be a battle. Can't wait to play you guys. Oh, week 7. Yeah. Oh, you a Broncos fan? Oh, okay. I didn't know you was a Broncos fan, man. I dissed the Broncos. I'm sorry, nephew. I don't hate the Broncos. They was just there in the way. But yeah, I look forward to playing the Broncos, man. You know, you guys had one of the greatest quarterbacks, 2 of the greatest quarterbacks of all times. You guys had Peyton Manning for a time, but you guys had John Elway back in the 80s and 90s. I can't tell you how many times you should be afraid to play that motherfucker. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know about John Elway, you better get an understanding. Y'all got Google and Wikipedia. Get an understanding. One of the greatest quarterbacks to play in this game. Shout out to my damn nephew. Go James says, yeah, this about to be a wild season. Yeah, go James. I can't wait. Go James says, Joe. You know what I'm talking about? Autism Boy says, Eli Manning or Drew Brees, who's a better NFL quarterback? Overall, Drew Brees is better in the regular season, but Eli did something Drew Brees couldn't do. He beat the GOAT, Tom Brady. So there it is. So I say Eli is better. Fuck with you. The regular season is great. Show me what you can do in those playoffs. Go James says, I'm going to say championship-wise Eli, but overall, I'm going to say Breeze. Yep, I agree. But Eli was my guy back in the day. He easily has the best championship winning record in Super Bowl history. As a matter of fact, and he's the comeback kid, ladies and gentlemen. Joe said, salute Chris. Autism Boy said, yeah, Breeze over Eli easily, bro. Like Chris said, break it down. Breeze over Eli in the regular season. Eli over Breeze in the playoffs when it matters. See, I care about the playoffs because guess what? That leads to the Super Bowl. What did Breeze do in the Super Bowl against God, Tom Brady? There you go. Goat James says, Cottage, I don't know if it's easily though, bro. Eli played bigger than most in the biggest games. Yes, he did. Breeze had many chances and didn't come up big. That's right. African Gamer says, still taking it all this year. I don't think so, but I got a couple of family members that are Steelers fans. We'll see. And you know, the Steelers and the Giants have a unique history because the Maurer family that owns the Giants and I forgot the name of the other family, the family that owns the Steelers. Um, they are they're kind of interconnected. You know what I'm saying? The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Giants are interconnected. Um, because their families are connected. I mean, then Pittsburgh is really the next, you know, Pennsylvania is the next state over. You know what I'm talking about? It ain't that far from New Jersey or whatever the case may be. So they do have a connection. They've always had a connection. The Rooney family, ladies and gentlemen, the Rooney's family and the Mara family are kind of intermarried, and that's how it is. So yeah, definitely got a connection to those guys. You know what I'm talking about? Joe says the Steelers don't have a quarterback. No, they don't. We're going to beat the Steelers, man. I'm sorry, nephew. We're just going to beat them. Joe says, I think the Giants has the best pass rush in the NFC. Now we do. Andrew Thomas comes back the way I think he should come back, healthy. Woo! Be careful. Go James says, this nigga said Steelers. You could tell his ass to watch football. Yeah, they ain't really been important since your boy Ben Roethlis a double cheeseburger with bacon and avocado slices on it. You know what I'm talking about? So, yeah. But listen, y'all, this is the end of Major Level Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Once again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. Please go tell your friends, your family members, you know what I'm saying? Pretty soon, Major Level is going to be all over. Right now, it's just on YouTube right now. I'm so busy, man. I don't really be having time to put time into putting it anywhere else. So I put it on YouTube, and I'm trying to go live at least twice a week for y'all doing different shows and stuff like that. Basketball season is coming up. I will be going live throughout football season as well. Just to give y'all some football stuff or whatever the case may be. I'll be talking mostly about my team, but I'll be talking about other teams too. And in tandem with going live to talk about some basketball games. Now I know over at Lil Bro channel, Lakers in 5, he will go live to stream the game, so you can go over there and always watch the games with us. And then we also have a conversation after those games. Well, then the next day, I'm going to go live, and then I'm going to give another detailed take on what I saw in the game and, improvements and adjustments that we can make, y'all. So I'm kind of like a precursor to a Lakers in 5 show. And I'm kind of like the after party to the Lakers in 5 show too. And my guy, I am connected in the Lakers in 5 universe. I like to call DJ's channel. I like to call, Lakers in 5, the Laker 5, universe, like how the MCU got the, Marvel got the MCU universe and DC got the DCU universe, whatever, DC universe, whatever case may be. Well, Lakers in 5 got the Lakers in 5 universe. Major Level Entertainment is a part. Falls up under that umbrella because some of the same people that's over there, most of the same people that's over there is on my channel supporting me. And I really do appreciate everybody supporting your boy. Yeah, I'm talking about. Go over there and hit that, go over there and subscribe and then join Lakers in 5 right now. You can become a member over there. When I get my memberships up over here, y'all can come over here and be a member, man. I promise you, it won't cost that much. I don't need your money. I just want your support. And I want to be able to provide a voice that y'all can listen to when you ain't got nothing else to listen to. And also give a chance for you guys to voice your opinion and your takes on how you feel when I have my shows that are pull-up shows. All right, y'all. Once again, hit that like button, subscribe button on your way out. And before I go, shout out to my damn sister, Tiffany Ned. She says, salute Major and everyone. Ravens, did it say Ravens Nation? Raven, okay. Oh, Baltimore Raven fan. Okay. Salute to Tiffany Ned, a Baltimore fan. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Ray Lewis, you know what I'm talking about? I think Shannon Sharp played for them too back in the day too. Yes. Shout out to Tiffany Ned. We don't play y'all this year, I don't think. No, we don't play y'all this year. But good luck to you guys. Whatever y'all schedule looking like, I hope y'all do great with that. And then Go James says, Sister Tiff. That's what's up, y'all. Once again, enjoy the rest of y'all day on this Labor Day, Monday. Be safe out there. Remember, everything you do, make sure you do it major. On behalf of Major Level Mafia, it's your boy Big Major, your uncle, your best friend, your cousin, your damn whatever, your neighbor across the street, goddamn it. I'm out. Peace and blessings.
Major. is major. And I'm getting major paper. Every time I rip a track, the shreds like a cheese grater. When I hit your spot, it ain't no way that no one can save ya. Like I said before, anything I do, I'ma do it major. Everything I do is major. And I'm getting major paper. Every time I rip a track, the shreds like a cheese grater. When I hit your spot, it ain't no way that no one can save ya. Like I said before, anything I do, I'ma do it major. Everything I do is major. And I'm getting major paper. Every time I rip a track, the shreds like a cheese grater. When I hit your spot, it ain't no way that no one can save ya. Like I said before, anything I do, I'ma do it major. Everything I do is major. And I'm getting major paper. Every time I rip a track, the shreds like a cheese grater. When I hit your spot, it ain't no way